Falling in love with someone else feels like stepping into a world of uncertainty and adventure. It's like the past no longer matters, and all that exists is this moment, this feeling, this connection. I never planned for this, but now I can't imagine my life without them in it. Falling in love with someone else has opened my eyes to the beauty of new beginnings and the thrill of exploring uncharted territory. There's a certain beauty in realizing that you're falling in love with someone else. It's like finding a new chapter in a book you never expected to read, yet one that feels completely right. I didn't ask for this to happen, but now that it has, I can't help but embrace it. Falling in love with someone else is both freeing and overwhelming, like discovering a new side of myself I didn't know existed. Falling for someone else is like finding a hidden treasure. It wasn't planned, but it's something that has added so much value to my life, leaving me feeling both blessed and unsure of what comes next. I never knew love could feel this way. Falling in love with someone else has opened my heart to new possibilities and emotions, leaving me wondering how I ever lived without this kind of connection before. It's strange how love works. One minute, you're content with what you have, and the next, you're falling for someone else, caught in the pull of something bigger than yourself. There's a softness in falling in love with someone else, a quiet realization that this person is someone who could change your life, not by forcing their way in, but by simply being who they are. I've found myself in a place I never thought I'd be, falling in love with someone else. It's a confusing and beautiful journey, one that I'm not sure I'm ready for, but one I know I'm already deeply immersed in. The more I get to know them, the more I realize how easily I'm falling in love. It's not something I planned or expected, but here I am, caught in the warmth of their presence, unable to resist. There's something about them that draws me in, something I can't explain but feel deeply. Falling in love with someone else feels like finding something I never knew I was looking for, but now can't imagine my life without. Sometimes love comes when you least expect it, and falling in love with someone else feels like a sudden shift in the universe, pulling me toward them in ways I never anticipated. It's funny how life works. One minute, I thought I knew where my heart belonged, and the next, I find myself falling in love with someone else, unsure of where this will lead, but excited to see where it goes. I didn't expect to find someone like them, someone who makes my heart race in ways I never imagined. Falling in love with someone else feels like discovering part of me I didn't even know was missing. I thought my heart was already spoken for, but then I met them. Now I find myself falling in love with someone else, questioning everything I thought I knew about love and what it means to truly connect with another person. Falling in love with someone else is like waking up from a long, deep sleep. Suddenly, everything is clearer, brighter, and more vibrant, and I can't help but follow the path that my heart is leading me down. I never believed in love at first sight, but then I met them. Falling in love with someone else has been like discovering a whole new world, one that feels both familiar and entirely new. Falling in love with someone else isn't something I planned, but it's something that feels incredibly real. Each day, I find myself thinking of them, feeling like I've finally found the person I was meant to be with. There's a freedom in falling in love with someone else, a freedom that comes with the realization that this is something pure, something that's not defined by the past, but by the present and the future we could share. Love works in mysterious ways, and falling in love with someone else is one of those mysteries that I'm not trying to solve. I'm just letting it unfold, trusting that this is exactly where I'm meant to be. It's hard to put into words what it feels like to fall in love with someone else. It's not a loud, dramatic feeling, but a quiet, growing certainty that this person is someone I want in my life forever. Falling in love with someone else has made me realize that love isn't a choice. It's something that happens often when you least expect it, and when it does, it changes everything. I didn't choose this. I didn't set out to fall for someone else. But now that I'm here, I realize that sometimes love just finds you, and when it does, you have no choice but to embrace it. Falling in love with someone else feels like stepping into a new chapter of my life, one that's full of unknowns, but also brimming with possibilities. It's a journey I'm ready to take, even if I don't know where it leads. Falling in love with someone else feels like a deep awakening, like my heart has been sleeping for years, only to be stirred into life by their presence. Every thought now turns to them, and every breath carries the weight of my growing affection. In the quiet moments when I let my mind wander, I realize that my heart has shifted its allegiance. It's not that I wanted to fall for someone else, but somehow their smile, their voice, and their essence have slowly captivated my soul. There are moments when I catch myself daydreaming about a future that involves them, a future I never thought possible before. It's like my heart has found a new rhythm, one that syncs perfectly with theirs. I never expected to fall for someone else, but here I am, captivated by their laughter, their kindness, and the way they make me feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. Sometimes love sneaks up on you when you're not looking. I never meant to fall for someone else, but now that I have, I find myself lost in thoughts of them, wondering if they feel the same. Falling in love with someone else doesn't mean the end of my past, but it feels like the beginning of a new chapter. There's something about them that pulls me in, something about their soul that resonates with mine in a way I never expected. I never intended for my heart to wander, but the connection I feel with them is undeniable. Every shared glance, every lingering touch leaves me wondering if they too are feeling the weight of this unexpected love. The more I get to know them, the more I realize how deeply I've fallen. It's not just attraction, it's a connection that feels almost fated, like our souls have known each other long before we met. I've always believed that love happens when you least expect it, and now I know it to be true. The moment I met them, my world shifted, and I've been falling deeper into their orbit ever since. There's a feeling of both excitement and fear that comes with falling in love with someone else. It's the fear of what could happen, but also the excitement of what might be if we dare to explore this newfound connection. Falling in love with someone else doesn't feel like betrayal. It feels like a beautiful, unexpected gift that has come into my life at a time when I was least expecting it, but most needing it. With every conversation, every touch, every moment spent together, my heart slips deeper into this uncharted territory of emotions. It's both exhilarating and terrifying to realize that I'm falling in love with someone else. I thought I had all the answers, that my heart belonged to one person, but then I met them. Now my thoughts are consumed by the way they make me feel, like everything else fades away when they are near. I never thought I could fall for someone else while my heart was still holding onto someone from the past. But love doesn't ask for permission. It just happens. And I find myself falling into something beautiful yet uncertain. There's a bittersweetness to falling in love with someone else. It's the thrill of something new, but also the sadness of knowing that you are leaving something behind, even if only in your heart. It's not easy to admit, but the truth is that I'm falling for them. It's strange and complicated, but it feels right in a way that I can't quite explain, like I was meant to find this love when I least expected it. I'm caught in the whirlwind of emotions that come with falling for someone else. It's a mix of excitement, confusion, and longing as I try to navigate this new path my heart has chosen for me. My heart has a way of leading me down unexpected paths, and now it's leading me to them. Falling in love with someone else feels like stepping into a world of endless possibilities where anything could happen. At first, I tried to deny it, but now I can't ignore it anymore. I'm falling in love with someone else, and it's both exhilarating and terrifying. I don't know what the future holds, but I know my heart is already deeply invested. Love is unpredictable. Just when you think you have it all figured out, it sweeps you off your feet and leads you to someone new. I never imagined I'd fall for someone else, but here I am, completely captivated by them. The feeling of falling in love with someone else is like being swept away by a powerful current. It's both beautiful and frightening, and I find myself completely powerless against its pull. There's a certain magic in falling for someone else, a magic that makes everything feel brighter, more intense. It's like rediscovering the world through their eyes and seeing everything in a new light. As much as I try to hold on to what was, I can't ignore the way they make me feel. It's like the universe conspired to bring us together, and now I'm falling for someone else, with no intention of looking back.